So the reason I decided to do this was because we actually saw the pitch on Shark Tank years ago. And when I saw it, I was like, oh, that would be so cool. But like, we didn't have any, like huge deaths in our family that were super close, for us to actually spend the money to do this. And my grandma, goodness, I'm so sorry.
You're good.
My grandma lived with us for, I want to say 3 years. She came from Thailand with my mom when my mom was 13, and she lived in California like their whole life. And I want to say in 2010, her house, we went over to California to visit her for New Year's, and she never, like my grandma never left her house. Like she hadn't left her house in like 3-4 years. And we went to visit, and we were staying at my aunt's house, and we were like, come with us, spend the night with us, for one night. And she's like, no, I don't want to leave. So we finally convinced her to come stay with us, and it was New Year's Eve. She came and stayed with us, and then the next day we got a call, and her house had actually burnt down, completely burnt down. Like nothing in it was salvageable, except when we went over there to check everything out, my grandma was like, oh, I need to get in there, like I have a whole bunch of cash in there. And we were like, there's no way it survived, like it wasn't in a safe or anything, it was under her bed. And we were like, no, there's no way. And she's like, I want to go in. So she went in, and all of her cash was perfectly fine. That was the only thing that didn't burn up. And we thought it was like some kind of miracle that she was out of the house for the first time in 4 years. And that happened to be the night. So after that, she moved in with us for around 3 or 4 years. My uncle had a really bad living situation in LA. They just lived in like a really bad, area. Mm-hmm. And my mom paid for them to come out, and like paid for them to move out here, and they stayed with us for around, I want to say 1.5 years, almost 2 years. And my grandma bought them a house, and it was under her name and everything, and she was paying for it, but she still lived with us. So after around 4 years of living with us, she decided that she wanted to live with them for a bit. And so she lived with them for around 3 years before she passed in February. And my mom would go over there at least once, twice a week. She would go give her a bath, because she had COPD, and it was really hard for her to move and breathe. So she would go over there, give her a bath, and massage her back, massage her feet. And she takes it out, or she gives herself a hard time about it, because she's like, I should have gone over there more. And but they lived I want to say 40 minutes away, and my mom would work late hours, and she would still find time to go over there. So we always tell her you did a lot for her, and she knows that, but she does give herself a hard time about it. So we have a little room in the front of our house, and it has her ashes, and it has a ton of pictures of my grandma. And she goes in there every single day, and talks to her. She's like, hey, how are you? She's still around. I think that's nice. But I think it would be nice for her to have her diamond, so that she can talk to her whenever she wants. She doesn't have to go in that room, if she's at work or whatever.
That is such a sweet story. Also, that's crazy that she left her house for the first time and it burned down. Wow.
Yeah.
That's a miracle.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Mm-hmm. But
she lived by herself too.
Yeah, that's, oh my gosh. And it sounds like your mom and your grandmother were so close, and I think that what you're doing for her is going to be really special. Like, it's going to be, I don't know, really nice on Christmas when like she sees this. Like, this is going to be so nice.
Yeah, we gave her a picture of my grandma from that she hadn't seen in years, and we just gave her a picture with a frame, and she was like crying her eyes out, like bawling, and I was like, I can't imagine
Wow.
how she's gonna feel.
Well, do you mind if I like ask you some questions about your grandmother that we can use in the video?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. So how would you best describe your grandmother's personality?
Wow. She is like, I don't know how to explain her. She's so selfless. She does everything for everyone else. She never buys anything for herself. If like, you know, she had like the same clothes for like 10 years and we would go buy her new clothes, and she'd kind of get mad. Like, she'd appreciate it, but she would be like, why would you spend money on me? And you know, on any type of holiday, she would just give everybody in the family like money or cash that she had. She was just a very giving person.
That's so sweet. What would you say was her favorite thing to do?
Well, in the recent years, after she couldn't move a lot, she loved watching, like, it's called Do TV. It's like a Thai drama channel where she would watch a whole bunch of like Thai soap operas. And that's what she did like for most of her time, for the last, like, I want to say 7-8 years, because she couldn't move around a lot.
What do you have the most pictures of your grandmother doing?
She's around family a lot. We have a ton of pictures of her with my niece. It was her first great grandchild, and she actually passed away around 4 months after her second great grandchild. So she didn't, I don't think she didn't get to meet him. She met him on FaceTime, but she didn't get around to actually meeting him.
Well, that's really sweet that, you know, she spent a lot of her time around family. What's your favorite memory that you share with your grandmother?
Well, when she lived with us, me and my grandma have the same birthday. So we had, my best memory of hers when we had my birthday party, and it wasn't like huge, it was just family, but we celebrated it together the year before she went and moved with my uncle.
Oh, that's really sweet. What did y'all like do for was it just like family at the house, or?
Yeah, we were in my basement, and we brought out a cake, and it had, you know, my name and her name, and we all sang happy birthday, and we, you know, I think we have pictures. It was so long ago. I think they were all on my old phone, which sucks, but I remember it like vividly, like it was yesterday.
That's so sweet. I actually share a birthday with my grandpa, so I know about sharing
Oh, really?
with grandparents and like joint birthday parties.
Yeah.
But so is there anything like quirky or like fun that your grandma would do that, like, I don't know, would she like play pranks? Was there like jokes that she would do? Anything like that?
She just loved to cook, and every time that she would you know, like, I don't know how to explain it. She's like, she doesn't mean to be funny, but she's just like, she tells everyone how her way is, or like when she's cooking, she'd be like, oh no, you're not doing it right, and then everyone would just laugh because like she's such a great cook. And everyone, anytime that my mom would make food, like with my grandma's recipe, they'd be like, oh no, and she's like, yeah, you didn't do this right, and then everyone would just laugh. But she doesn't mean it like mean. She's just very what's the word, like, she doesn't have a filter.
Yeah.
So I think that's super funny.
I love that. What would you say that you miss the most about her?
I miss when I would come home and she would live in her own room in the front room, and as soon as I would walk in, she'd be like, "Oh, are you home?" And I'm like, "Yeah, like I'm home," because I thought it was funny. She would always ask, "Are you home?" when I was standing in front of her, and I miss that a lot. I miss like coming in and seeing her face.
That's really sweet. And I know, like, okay, so you decided to like turn her ashes into a diamond for your mom, but was there any like specific like significance to the color or the shape of the diamond?
We did it because my mom's favorite color is blue. And that's mostly why we did it, but my grandma loved she loved blue and she loved yellow, like really like happy bright colors. So we chose those colors kind of in memory of her.
That's those are gorgeous colors. And have you had the diamond set yet, or are you gonna give it to your mom and then have it set?
We have a setting for it. It hasn't, we're waiting for the diamond to come in, and then we'll try and get it sent out and set before Christmas.
Okay, cool. And what do you think your mom's reaction will be to seeing the diamond?
Oh my gosh, she's gonna cry. She's gonna be beside herself. Like I know it was really hard on her, and I think that she will really appreciate, like especially seeing how long it took and how beautiful the diamond's gonna come out, and knowing that it came from her mom. I know that she would really enjoy that. We got a gold setting because in Thailand they use a ton of gold. Like it's like their most common color or like material of jewelry. So she wears a ton of gold, and my grandma only had gold. She never had any type of silver.
Right. I think it's gonna make like the most beautiful. Is it a ring or a necklace?
Yeah, it's a ring.
Okay, I just want to double check. That's gonna make the most beautiful ring. And the fact that like, you know, this is like a long process. So this has got to be like the most thoughtful, like surprise. Cause it's like, you had to think about this like months and months ago, you know? I'm sure your mom is going to,
yeah,
she's going to be so excited.
Yeah, we originally were trying to have it come in on her birthday in August, and that's why we ordered it a while back, and then I didn't realize how long the process would be. And then we were like, well, this would be great for Christmas, so we switched it.
Yeah, that's so sweet and thoughtful. You know, y'all are great, you know, children. So what do you think, how do you think that your grandma would ultimately want to be remembered?
She's very, like I said, she's very selfless. She wouldn't want anyone to mourn for her. You know, she would have really wanted, you know, in her eyes, she would have wanted everyone to move on, which would be impossible because she was such a remarkable woman. She spoke 3 languages, which is like another one of my favorite things about her. Like, you have to be really intelligent to be able to speak 3 different languages. And I know that she really wouldn't have wanted anyone to like mourn for her or feel bad for losing her. She knew that her time was coming. I think that she knew, my mom always says that a few weeks before she passed, she the last time my mom saw her, she was like, come see me more often if you can. I know you're busy. And that's another thing that takes a really big toll on my mom, because she's like, I should have gone more. But she saw her. I mean, my mom never left the hospital. She stayed there overnight for 4 days. My grandma was there. She never left the room. She wouldn't eat. She just like stuck by my grandma's side.
Yeah, that's got to be hard.
Yeah.
What did your like grandmother's passing teach you about, life and death?
Mostly just like to enjoy what time you have. It's hard on me sometimes because I was working a lot. I mean, before she passed, I was so young. I had just started driving. I was in school, and I never really made the time to see her as often as I feel like I should have. My grandma always, like, to show how selfless she was, she loves cornbread because she didn't have any teeth, so it was really easy for her to eat. And I went out to lunch one day with one of my friends, and they gave me cornbread, and I thought of my grandma, and I was like, oh, I'm just gonna go, drop this off. And I dropped off the cornbread for her, and she told my mom every time she saw her that, like, how much she appreciated it, because, like, and to me, I was like, it's cornbread, but, like, it meant a lot to her. So she, like, appreciates little things like that the longest.
That's really cute. That, it was like you just did it, and she kept bringing it up to your mom, like, like that meant so much to her. Like, that's so sweet.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, like, we're really excited to make this video for your mom, and, hope that it's like a great introduction for her, and like, what the diamond is, and like what it means to her and to y'all. And I just want to like ask, is there anything else that you want to include in the video? Like, if there's something that you want to say right now that we could like edit in, or I mean, if you feel like you've already said it, that's cool too, but I just want to ask if there's anything else you'd like to add.
There's a few things I want to say. Like, I definitely want her to realize how much she's done for my grandma, and
Right.
know that my grandma really appreciates it.
Yeah, like, it really sounds like your mom deserves this. Like, she worked so hard and she loved her mother so much, and that she doesn't think that she did enough, that's heartbreaking. And I really hope that this is something that can help her like overcome that, I guess, or something that can like there's no replacing your grandmother, but this is more like a placeholder. Since she can't be there physically, she can be there in spirit.